I've had this trap out here for 2 nights straight. It's right in front of the door where there's an opening where any large animal that was outside could easily get into the barn. It has peanut butter. It has chicken feed. It's got all kinds of interesting scents to bring any critters in. And it's still sitting here empty. Yeah, so we're sure it's the neighbor's dogs, but that's okay. We're going to get this thing buttoned up. It'll protect the chickens from the dogs and any other wild animals as well. So let's go get it fixed. Well, it looks like the corners of this run are going to hold just fine. These posts are okay. It's this ledger board that is completely gone. It's just rotted away. This metal down at the bottom is well secured into the ground. It actually makes a nice barrier. Just have to deal with all these screws poking out the other side. But it looks like if I can get some of this wire cleaned off, get the wood that's still here out of the way, and clean it out from around these posts, I should be able to replace that and get this wall back in operation. And while I'm dealing with these posts, we'll have to climb up there and do something about that roof. Obviously that chunk of metal's been ripped out. It's going to have to be replaced or at least covered up. That's what caused these boards to rot out in the first place. And while I'm removing all these boards, I've got to be careful not to rip this chicken netting. This stuff's expensive. It's already up here. It's going to save me a ton of time on this run, so I got to make sure not to tear it. And using the leverage of the board to separate it from the nails up top, I'm just going to wiggle this thing out of here, being very careful not to damage that top plate. I want to have to replace lumber up top as well as down below. So this is the first time up at this level of the barn. I'm just now getting my first look at the roof, trying to determine just how bad a shape this is in. Not worried about the rust right now. It could take another 300 years to rust through all the way. Most of the screws are nails that are holding it in, and I do think I see both nails and screws holding it down. They've long since outlived their usefulness. But this roof will hold over a chicken run. It's no big deal at the moment, except that it is leaking through this hole. So this hole is a problem because it allows all of the lumber that's underneath it to get wet. And then that water sits down inside of the wood. It'll sink down into all of the posts, and they dry rot over time. That's what's happened here. This whole side panel has dry rotted out. All the posts that used to hold the chicken netting no longer are there at the bottom. They've all rotted off. So we'll replace that ledger and those posts, reattach this wire. Everything should be fine there. The roof's not in bad shape. Got some question marks about some of the ripples I see in it. I'm not really sure if that was a design consideration the result of the materials that they happen to use, or if that's damage to the roof. So it's going to take a little bit more sleuthing out to see what's going on up there in the rafters. But for tonight, that's going to show me what I need to see in order to get this fixed. So this is the basic idea. We're just going to replace the wood that's all rotted out with good fresh wood. Now this post has got some dry rot taking place there. I'm not worried about that dry rot on that post. It's still going to stand up, so I'm not worried about that right now. So we're just replacing these posts and that ledger board down at the bottom. Just got to dig all the rest of this wood out of this corner here. Get the old nails and fasteners out of there so that I can slip another ledger board up in there. This is really the critical part here, is at this corner. We've already got the other corner cleaned out, so just got to get this mess cleaned out of here. And I think we're about there, except for the hole up there in the roof we still got to get taken care of. But we've just been trying to secure all this up down at the bottom. Now we've still got this metal panel that's well buried in the dirt, so it's very secured. So all I want to do is just secure it back up to the wood. And then I've also got this chicken wire that's kind of hanging out loose here. And I can either go down through here and find systems for connecting one or the other, or I can try to connect both of them and kind of stitch them together in a single connection. I think this one we'll try to do here. I don't know if I can get enough stretch on this wire, but we're going to try it. See if we can get it to go around screws that would then screw the metal off to this ledger board. Kind of sandwich everything together. It's actually a pretty well built structure. Somebody took a lot of time and effort years ago to set this up. They've got the corners and edges all well stitched together. Even up top, it's got metal holding it really tight right up in the top corner. So everything's super snug out here. It's just that this dry rotted wood wasn't holding together. So we got all that replaced. Now all we got to do is reattach all of the siding, the walls. That buttons this thing up, so we've got everything nice and tight out here, at least as far as the wall is concerned. We've still got this problem with the roof line. Definitely, I don't know, smaller falcons might be able to get in through there for sure. So I need to get something up there, get that covered up, maybe just a piece of fencing to cover it for right now. That way we can get the chickens on out and get them some sunshine. So this is not a completed project. We've still got to come back and make sure that this fencing is also attached to all of these new posts that I've put in, and that it is tightly secured down to the ledger board down at the bottom. So the chickens can now come on out into the run.
We do appreciate you joining us on the Return Homestead today. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please take a moment to do that. While you have the window open, if you don't mind, hit that thumbs up icon. That's going to let the algorithm know you enjoyed the video and they'll share it out with more people. We'll see you next time.